check one more thing here. All right, we are live. Okay, hi everyone. Cheyenne Kaufman here with Shy Creative, and I also have my buddy Emilio Ortiz here with us. Say hi.
Hi guys.
I am here again for hashtag Gift Card Monday. So y'all know that during this whole COVID-19, every Monday I have made it a mission to come on live with Facebook and interview small business owners in hopes of stimulating their businesses and keeping their businesses alive during this time, and also just networking with other businesses. I'm so passionate about the way that as a community we can unite and we can grow as small businesses in Colorado. So today I am introducing not only an awesome business owner, amazing mixologist, craft cocktail connoisseur, I guess, but also my friend. I have known Emilio since high school and really have admired where he's gone in his career and where he's gone with his business. And so he is going to talk to us about his restaurant and bar called 503 W in downtown Colorado Springs. This is an award-winning restaurant and bar, and they are locally owned and locally minded. So I'm going to flip it over to Emilio, and he's going to tell you a little bit about his restaurant. To begin with, it's been in the family for a long time. So tell us a little bit about how you became owner and the transition that happened there with that.
Yeah, it was, well, thank you for that great introduction. I appreciate you, and I admire you for the same qualities that you just kind of bestowed upon me. So thank you for having me. 503 West kind of spawned from the business that was there before. So my sister-in-law, Nina Lee, her mother, Amelie, had owned and operated the business there for 20 years. So she was running that thing by herself, kind of getting to the end of retirement. And it so happened that we all kind of had our schedules open and we're looking for something new to do. And we've always been some way or another attached to the service industry, and decided that we'd come together and kind of revamp the place that we're at currently right now. So the 503 West is actually our address as well. And so we wanted to make it a destination spot. So kind of that's where the name came from.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's so cool how you came together with your brother and your sister-in-law and just kept this restaurant alive. I know you went through a graphic design change, kind of rebranded a little bit. What did you find that did locally for your local community? Did it bring in new people, or tell us what happened there?
Yeah, it definitely did. I mean, we're right near downtown in a place called Old Colorado City. And so with that, we also had some kind of feelings of keeping things the way that they used to be. So when we came in, we wanted to brand and make something new and more inviting to families, and just something new to that side of town. So with that, marketing is kind of everything. It's your brand image and kind of showcases what you bring into the table. So even though we had a little pushback at the beginning, we believed in our brand name and what we were bringing to the table. And so we just stuck by our guns, and it's done well for us for 7 years now. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm a proud supporter of graphic design and everything brand related.
Yes.
So I commend you. I love your logo, and I love the story behind it, and how, you were able to take your business and really give it a facelift in a lot of ways. So I talked to you prior to this, and you have done a lot of things for your community and for your industry. So I wanted you to talk a little bit about, first of all, what USBG is, and how you brought that to Colorado, and how that organization is helping servers and bartenders currently in this time.
Yeah, absolutely. So we started our own chapter here in Colorado Springs. So we're part of a national movement called the USBG, which stands for the United States Bartenders Guild. They've been around since the late 60s, 70s, and are in almost every major city across the nation. We felt that there was a need for it here in Colorado Springs. So me and a few other people started the chapter in 2017 and have just seen it grow since. And especially during a time like this where, 40% of our industry, people live paycheck to paycheck, we thought it was very important that at the very minimum, we don't let anybody go hungry or go low on food supplies or other essential items, I should say, excuse me. And so we we're doing what almost every other chapter out there in other cities are doing, which is holding a food drive, a bank drive, and making sure that our industry people that are out of a paycheck aren't out of food and or supplies. So we knew we had to do something for our community, and we've been doing that for probably the past 3 years now. And now, especially during this time and during this pandemic, we've seen a lot of people come together and volunteers and just see the community grow stronger because of it. So it's been great.
That's so good. That's like, yeah. It's just very cool that you took the initiative and really got that going. And maybe in the comments below, we can type is there a link or something if people wanted to find out how they could help other servers in Colorado?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you go to any of our social media pages, you can literally just look up the Colorado Springs Bartenders Guild. It'll take you to, we have a public and private Facebook page and Instagram. We'll have a bunch of links on there to where you can help out. You can either donate. We have really cool t-shirts online that you can purchase where the majority of the funds are going towards this food drive. There's so many different ways you can help out as well. We have a service industry tips pool where anytime you have a drink at home during lockdown, you can tip your local bartender. So this can be here in Colorado Springs or even there in Loveland or Fort Collins. So there's a lot of different features on there that you can go on there and give back, even if it is just donating time of any kind, or what you're doing with this as far as gift cards go, I think are really vital. So anything you can help to put the money up front for people and spend later, I think is really vital during this time. So
absolutely. Yes. I love the idea of spend now to support later.
Yeah.
Because businesses right now have, like you said, 40% of your industry has lived paycheck to paycheck and now no longer receives a paycheck. So it is so important that as a community, we go out and we continue to spend what we would have prior to COVID being the culprit for shutting us down, but we still have to support these industries that are working so hard and tirelessly to serve us when we're ready to go back out, then they're there. So tell me a little bit about how COVID-19 has affected the way that you're doing business. I know that we've talked about this too, how we just kind of had to get very creative very quickly on how we can continue to serve. And some of the things that you have been kind of navigating your way through is like home deliveries and curbside pickups. And tell us a little bit more about what it is that you had to change and what it is that you're offering.
I mean, we definitely had to change almost completely the dynamic of which we serve our guests. Because of the lockdown, we definitely had to obviously implement curbside pickup, which is what we usually want to encourage people to do, to pull up, we run your food out. The reason we do that is that we don't incur any service fees for that. All your tips go towards our staff. We do use Grubhub and platforms like ChowNow as well, and DoorDash. Those third-party systems are good in getting product out to people, but sometimes can be more of a hassle for small businesses. So again, if you can pick up when necessary, I would always recommend to do so. But for us, it's like playing chess. Again, you got to go back to the drawing board and look how you're going to present your product and get it to people the way that it represents who you are as a restaurant. So making a menu that's more conformed to delivery, that's going to stand up to delivery services. We do to-go cocktails now where we actually vacuum seal our bags, and it's more cost effective. And there's just a bunch of areas where you got to look in how do you be efficient behind the bar and also with your food costs. And, maybe in the future, depending on how this thing goes, even creating our own delivery system. So there's just a whole new thing you got to kind of look at, and how we're going to present, serving people. If they open up at 30%, 50% capacity, that means it's going to be kind of odd going to a restaurant and having to sit, minimum 6 feet, 10 feet away from the next table, masks, gloves. It's going to be an odd time. It already is. So
yeah.
Our job is just to make sure that we make our guests feel as comfortable and safe as possible. And so that's going to come with, sanitizing and cleaning everything thoroughly and adhering to those social distancing rules.
Yes, absolutely. It is definitely a learning curve for everybody. And, we all want to go out to a restaurant in order to socialize and be kind of immersed in the experience. And it's definitely going to be a totally different experience moving forward for a little while, at least, talking about having to distance yourself from the table next to you, and very odd.
Yeah, it's good. It's going to be tough. We're all, almost everybody that we know, we're social creatures. We like to go out. We like to hug. We like to socialize. So it's going to be a little tough. Even with us, trying to keep these rules implemented properly. But it's, again, we're all in this together, and the only way we get through it is making sure that we're all on the same page.
That's awesome. Well, you did kind of hint at your vacuum sealed crafted cocktails. I know that you were working on that last time we talked, and that sounds very interesting. What is that about?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm using like a regular food saver, and I'm pre-batching cocktails, already diluting them, and we're putting our labels on there. And all you got to do is kind of snip them open and then add ice to them at home. So we serve them in increments of 2 to 4, and essentially a lot of people are ordering those because with their meal they can get 2 cocktails for the price of $10. A craft cocktail with fresh juice and everything like that. So we've seen a lot of people really gravitate towards that, and it's been working well for us.
That's amazing. Do you deliver to Windsor? Just kidding.
Maybe. I mean, we might in the future. Yes.
Yes, perfect. Yes. Hey, so tell me a little bit about I know that you're an artist also. I just know that because I know you personally, but you have kind of carried that artistic ability into your cocktails. So that's partly probably what makes 503 West a little bit different than other restaurants and bars in your area. So I want you to speak to what makes you different, and for those tourists maybe coming down, or even the locals that are there currently. Yeah,
so I mean, for instance, my sister-in-law Nina Lee, she was actually born here in Colorado Springs, so she's got a huge tie to here just because of growing up here locally. Also, I think artistic wise, she's in the graphic design as well, so I think you can see that coming out in what we do as well. For me personally, when it comes to cocktails, I feel it's the same way with when you eat, you visually drink as well with your eyes. So when you see something that's aesthetically pleasing, it almost either tastes better when you're eating it and or drinking it. So I think aesthetics have a huge deal to do with that. And so when you're in a pandemic where you can't visually give a drink to somebody, you have to artistically think about how that cocktail color-wise is going to look in the bag that we're putting it in. Are we including the garnishes and letting them marinate, so to speak, with the cocktail? Or are we letting the people at home kind of be interactive and garnish it themselves? So there's a bunch of ways to be creative even during a time like this. But I think the creativity aspect comes from my love of food and drinks and the artistic world, just because I like to see how things are put together aesthetically pleasing wise and kind of represent what I like in life. So I think it translates into our cocktails and into our food. And I think that's what definitely sets us apart, is that you're not going to find any recipes on there that you can get anywhere else. It's all self-created and tweaked our way specifically. So
And is your brother, so speak a little bit about the three of you who own it. So each of you,
Mhm.
you've mentioned Nina is graphic design.
Yeah,
She's the design kind of head. And then you have yourself, which I know you kind of cater to the cocktail side. And then is your
yeah,
brother in the kitchen? Is he helping with the menu?
yeah. My brother wrote the menu, so
Okay,
his
awesome.
yeah, so his background is, I mean, he's definitely had his time in the service industry. So he's done a lot of catering work when he's out in Hawaii as well. So he really kind of honed his skills out there and brought that kind of the Asian Pacific flair to the table, as well as the fact that Nina and her mom are South Korean. So we took some of that flair, and we were going to do a hybrid of a different style, but we chose to do Asian Pacific and Americana is kind of what we call it. And that's the kind of menu he stuck to, and I think it's very very simple, but yet very complex. And I think it's very popular because of that reason. And it's very consistent. And again, if you guys like Asian or any kind of fusion with Americana, I think that's, again, why it's so popular, is because you don't see anything else like that in our neighborhood out here. And I think that's what people want nowadays. They want new and different ways of imbibing and eating. And so they're always going to look towards that.
Yes, and I have taken a peek at your website, 503w.co. For
Mm-hmm.
those of you interested, you can go on there and you can check out their menu items. It's a really fresh menu. Lots of
Please do.
wonderful, yummy looking items on there. So definitely check that out. I know next time I'm in Colorado Springs, you will be a stop that I will make.
You
I
better
am
be.
excited. Um, so tell us a little bit about how purchasing a gift card is going to help you during this time. Tell us like the impact that somebody here at home can have. And there's so many people that we can give gift cards to, even if we're not local to Colorado Springs. You could always send it to someone who is in the medical field that has
Yeah,
been working tirelessly. There's so many places that you can. Father's Day is coming up. We have some events coming up, like not events but holidays. So talk a little bit about how a gift card will help your business right now.
absolutely. What it is, it's just cash flow up front. Anytime you can get capital in right away, it helps us with the operating costs, and allows us to keep more employees there and working. And so anytime you can get that up front is very crucial to us, especially in the restaurant business where margins are so slim and tight. It means the world. So you take, even if it's a $25 gift voucher to however much you want to do, you multiply that times however many people are believing in the same thing and what gift cards can do, it helps substantially. So it's not something we're just completely relying on just our food and beverage sales, but it's something that else that I think, again, you spend now and can and save now essentially as well, and spend on operating costs. But you guys also have the chance to either use it down the road or use it right now, however which way you feel. Or like you said, you can give it to people out there on the front line in hospitals, gift it to somebody that's in the neighborhood. I think those are all great ideas. But for us as a small business, any kind of income you can get like that directly right away is extremely helpful.
Absolutely. It is for sure.
Yeah.
We have people right now following us on Facebook during this video. So the best way for somebody to purchase a gift card right now is to just tag Emilio in the comments below.
Yes.
It is EMILLIO, and his name should pop up. It's Emilio Ortiz, and he will personally reach back out to you and make sure that you get that gift card mailed to you or emailed to you, however, whatever is most convenient, I guess, for the two of you.
Yeah.
So to kind of wrap up, first of all, thank you so much for coming on, sharing with me and sharing with my network, because
Thank
I'm so
you.
proud of you as your friend, a longtime friend. But I also am super excited to go down and try out the experience of being a customer. What does the reopening of 503 West look like for you right now? And what are your plans to make your customers feel safe and welcomed?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be, probably pretty multifaceted. We're going to go based off what the governor is saying right now. Right now, there's still a lot of things up in the air, but I'd imagine it's a slow integration of, starting off at 30% to 50% capacity, which is going to be a little tough. So, our goal is to make sure that we're, again, disinfecting the place from top to bottom every single day, and wearing gloves, masks while we're doing it. And again, setting up the restaurants, at least the social distancing thing is going to be in place, but we're probably going to be using bar carts and other things to deliver drinks and food to people at a safe distance. So it's going to look odd, but we have a game plan for either scenario, whether it's 30%, 50%, or when we open back up. But eventually we'll get there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I am, we lost your video, E. But I am going to be posting in the links. I'll post the link to your website and I'll tag your name so that those people wanting to purchase can also reach out to you. And then I want to encourage everybody to really purchase a gift card. Purchase a gift card from a small business during this time. It really does help, like Emilio said, with operating costs and their overhead expenses. A lot of that stuff doesn't change, unfortunately, but yet their cash flow has diminished substantially. So it is very important that we continue to support the restaurants and businesses that we love, and so that we can have them, when all of this is over, we have a place to go enjoy ourselves and enjoy our families. So, Emilio, thank you so much. I think we hit on everything that we were wanting to cover. And unless you have anything to add, but be sure to check out 503 West in downtown Colorado Springs. Maybe I'll put you back on here to just give the quick address and list your website, and then list maybe your phone number to the restaurant also. And that way people can reach out and contact you if they can't find the tags and all of that. So I'll put you back on for that.
Okay. So our website again is going to be 503w.co. Our address is actually the same as our name. It's 503 West Colorado Avenue, and that's going to be Colorado Springs, Colorado 80905. And the direct phone line to the restaurant is going to be 719-471-3370.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, everybody needs to go on and put your order in for that bagged crafted cocktail.
Yes.
I wish it covered up here. So thank you again so much, Emilio. And thank you all for joining us on Facebook and also just supporting local businesses. It really means a lot to us. And best of luck to you, Emilio. I hope to one day be down there and enjoy myself at your restaurant. So
absolutely. And thank you to Shy Creative and everything that you're doing out there. So keep it up.
Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Bye. We'll talk to you later.
Okay. Bye.